posted up there.
Yeah, and now I got to go over to YouTube and close out YouTube so I don't get echo, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, are we live? Anybody there?
Nope.
No. What's not working? I don't know. I did what he told me to do. We had this all set up. We checked it. Okay, I'm streaming. I don't know. Should I go back to YouTube? I've got a couple of people coming.
Yeah, it's Bees All Day is live, but why is it in YouTube? Here we go.
Is it coming? Is it just slow?
We're up. We're up and running.
Thank you, Charlie. Hey, everybody. This is Becky, the other half. We good?
Yeah, do you have your YouTube volume off?
I thought it did. I closed YouTube out.
Okay, you sound good.
Sound good?
I just
Thank
had
you,
it.
Charlie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, everybody. This is Becky. I'm the other half of Shenandoah Bee Supply and Bees All Day. Filling in for Bill a little bit. He has a meeting. He is president of the Virginia State Beekeepers Association, and they're having a board meeting to talk about their conference, which is scheduled later in October for Southwest Virginia. And as we know, what all's happened with the hurricane and all the devastation in Southwest Virginia, North Carolina, and Eastern Tennessee, they're having a meeting to talk about what's going on with that. So he's going to join here in a little bit. I told him to talk fast and get that one done because I can do this, but it's not what I do every day. So, hey, Barry Con Bees, thanks for joining everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. So, what about the weather? We've had almost 4 inches of rain here where we are in Virginia the past couple of days. How about you, Charlie? What's going on down there in Maryland?
It was. It's been raining and misting and carrying on, and um, I'm trying to get my screen working here. There we go. Um, it's rained a little bit this afternoon, uh, just late. Hey, Mike and Barry, and but other than that, it's finally. I think Wednesday is when the sun is going to finally come out
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So
Yep, I think
let's.
so. Hi, Mike. Um, yeah, I got in my bees on Thursday. I took a little time off work because I need to get some treatments in and looking at the weather ahead. And originally we were supposed to this coming week at the end of the week get down in the 40s at night, but I think they've changed that. But anyhow, it was a cloudy day. It wasn't raining. The sun popped out a little bit. I don't like getting in on weather like that because you know how they are. They're cranky, but knock on wood, they weren't too bad. So it gave me a chance to check stores a little bit. I didn't quite winterize them yet, but that's coming after I finish this treatment. And then I think I'll get them winterized a little bit more. So,
All right, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat.
yeah. So, yeah, James, we're always working out the bugs. We're trying. So this is a new venture for both of us. I'm an extension agent. So during the pandemic, I made some videos and stuff like that, but I've gotten out of the practice of that because we are back live doing classes and things. So um, we're getting there. So yeah, so that's what we got. Anybody got a topic you want to talk about today? Anything?
No, let's see. I'm still trying to get this thing to um
Hello from Colorado. Wow. You guys got snow out there yet on the mountains?
No, that's Brian.
Okay. Flower Street Farm Bees. Yep. Hello, everyone. Hi, Roy. So, um, so today I did an interesting thing. I love to teach, so I was asked to go to a small private school today to talk about bees. So I had 24 4th through 6th graders, and they want to know about the science of bees, and took some equipment, took some honey tasting. They could taste different things. Wow, 85 degrees out in Colorado. Fed some bees, I bet so. So we did some of that outreach today, which is always good. The kids their questions, they were so worried about being stung and what to do if you get stung. So we did a lot about how to prevent that from happening, and just some awareness to the importance of, pollinators and all that kind of stuff. So
I don't know why. On your side, on the where it says Salma Charlie and it says StreamYard.com, can you highlight, or if you put your cursor there, it has 3 dots, and see whether it comes up with
where you are, where your picture is, the 3 dots.
Yeah. Click on those 3 dots and see if does it say pin to the chat?
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, we pinned it earlier, but maybe I did it too early.
Yeah, you did it. You did it before the show started.
Okay. So that's what I got to do. Okay. So I need to take.
Can you pin it? Will it let you pin it?
I don't think it will, because I already closed out YouTube. I have to go back.
Go back to YouTube.
Okay, hang on. Hey guys. So question, where I am in Virginia, we're in
Woodstock, Virginia.
Woodstock, Virginia. Like, where am I? Sorry. I'm nervous doing this tonight. I'm gonna.
For everybody who's just came in, Bill is he is the president of the Virginia State Beekeepers, and he is at a meeting whether or not they're going to hold their state conference, which is in Southwest Virginia, really close to all the devastation out of the Carolinas, and whether they're going to postpone it or whatever, they're going to decide about it. That's where he's at. But Bill will be back in later tonight. This is Bill's better half, Becky.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to copy it right now. The link. I told you he's got this different mouse. I hate it. And I don't know how he uses it. It's one of those trackball ones, guys. Okay, let me see if I can copy it now. Copy.
I thought I would be able to pin it.
And then I'm going to put it down here. I got my directions on how to do stuff, so let's hope I can do this.
Hey, Matt.
Paste.
Hey, Barry. Mike. JW.
And then I'm going to pin this to the top. Hang on a second. Where'd it go? Hold on. I sent it, but I got to post it to the top or pin it.
Yeah. Where's yours at? I don't see it.
I don't know. I just did it. Where'd it go? It's there in the chat.
I don't see it.
Let's try it again. Sorry, guys.
All right, you go in. Did you go to where it says invite under StreamYard?
No, he told me to put it in the chat box.
Yeah, there it is. I see it now.
See it? Can you pin it, or you want me to pin it?
You pin it. You go ahead and pin it.
Okay, hang on. Let me go back. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. I see it.
Bees all day.
Yeah, I see it. There it is. I'm trying to get, and then I need to
hit the 3 dots. It should say pin it to the top or something.
No, it didn't do it. Hold on. Nope. It says put user in timeout. I don't want to do that. Y'all are good people. Nope. It's not doing it. Hold on, guys. Sorry. I got it there, but I can't get it to pin. Where's the 3 dots? Now I lost it. I'm sorry, guys. What else is going on? So as we work out the bugs here again, there it is.
What meetup is that, Brian? Is that, oh, you mean on the Facebook meetup, I guess is from yesterday. Yes. Yesterday, the Greater Baltimore Beekeepers Association, or Beekeepers Facebook Club, I guess. We're more of a social club. We don't actually have, hey, Phil, we don't actually have a room to meet or anything. And so anyway, we do some Zoom meetings, and then we have we'll get together maybe once a month or every a couple months, and we'll go to a local brewery. Yeah, the Baltimore Beaks. That's right, Brian. And so we met up at a brewery on the west side of Baltimore. It's located at a farm, and one of the microbreweries. And then sit around and talk bees. If you like beer, have beer. Personally, I have Diet Coke. And that place, actually, you could buy pizza. So we sat there and had a good chat. I don't know, the last, for at least a couple hours, Brian. That's what we did. And we're kind of an offshoot. It's a more of a social club. We actually had just some meeting decisions, whether or not, some people wanted uh, training classes, and, the typical club where you have, we do have dues, but trying to find a place to meet and trying to do all the different things that now see if you can get it to.
Yeah, but it doesn't. The pinning thing doesn't come up. It says delete.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that. I don't know
Or
why
put the
you
user. Oh, what's going on?
I don't know why you don't have it. Hey,
It
Randy.
was there earlier, but it's not there now.
Yeah, I know. I seen that's how I got in.
I don't know. Anyhow, we'll just keep posting every now and then, I guess.
Yeah. So anyway, we had a meeting and we decided we'll continue. Here's Todd. Let's see what Todd says. Hey, Todd.
So, well, that sounds good. We have our local bee club here. We do some. I'm president of the local bee club, and we do some. We have meetings every other month, and then on the off months, we have a social event because beekeepers work too hard. So this coming October 10th, we're going to have dinner at a brewery here locally, and then watch. I don't know if you guys seen it's a PBS thing from their nature show, My Garden of 1,000 Bees. Has anybody ever seen that? It's about this guy that was a video photographer and then a wildlife photographer. And during COVID, he was stuck at home. He's in England. And he started videoing his bees and the bees up close and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. We're going to show that, and have dinner, and we do some other fun stuff. So, yeah. Yep. I see there's a GrubX recipe, Charlie, they're asking for.
I have no idea. Kill small hive beetles and bees don't mind. Yeah. Now the only thing I can tell you about that is that I'm going to say Keith Delplain, professor down in Georgia at the bee lab there, was talking about it on Bob Binney's one of his talks, videos. They've been working on it down there. It's not been approved or anything like that. Now, GrubX, if you got pollen patty problems, the sprinkle it or whatever underneath your highs. I know Lee from he has done that, and from Kodiak Farms down in Louisiana, and he's had good results with all that stuff and all that. So anybody wants to pop in, go right ahead. That was Todd was on the phone. He's coming in shortly as soon as he gets home from work out in California. And then we've got.
Okay, here's somebody wrote clueless beekeeping. Chlorina triumphal or something. It's a chemical Bob Benny had a good video on it. So maybe you want to check out Bob. That's what he's doing.
All right. I'll give you all up an update. Talk to Becky here, and Bob, her husband, talked to Bob Benny through the phone. Bob, number one, he has no power for the last, I'll say, ever since the storm. And the shop is shut down. I believe everybody's in good health as far as that goes. And I think
they were going out to check beehives today.
They were going out to check beehives today. Bob Benny was. So obviously the roads are passable compared to the other areas in more western North Carolina. And of course, he is North Georgia. So you might say he's on the other side of the mountain. So that's the update on Bob Benny. He is fine health wise. They just don't have any electricity whatsoever. So they might have got quite a bit of wind, lines knocked down, stuff like that. And for everybody who's just getting in, Bill, that's here with his chat from Shenandoah Bees. He's in a meeting with, he is the president of the Virginia State Beekeepers Association. They were going to have a conference in Whiteville, Virginia, which is close to, you're going towards the Tennessee line, East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia. Cayman was supposed to come for the show, and
right,
and couple other people.
Yeah, so they're meeting to see whether or not what's going on down there and if they're going to reschedule or what's going on. Because,
I mean, Whiteville itself, I don't think has been hit too hard. It's the fact that the conference was probably going to draw from Tennessee, Western North Carolina, the areas that are included because of the flood. And so they're discussing whether or not they're going to postpone it for right now. So that's where Bill's at. And like I say, Bob Benny is fine. He just doesn't have any electricity at all. And when that'll come back, who knows?
Yeah. And then
so that's your answer, Matt.
Yeah. Bill talked to Cayman Reynolds today too, and yesterday, and Cayman's okay. He's in Eastern Tennessee. He is the last town before all the devastation. I think he said his brother's bee yard was 15 miles away and it was okay. So he came out okay too, but we have to think about there are a lot of beekeepers down in that area that probably did not come out very well. So
well, you got
some prayers to them.
One person that just comes to mind, and he's right in the area, is Nathan from Duck River Hunting. I don't believe he posted this past weekend. I'm sure he's out of power, like a lot of them. And I don't know whether or not he is kind of southwest of Nashville. So I'm not sure how bad that area is. Another one's Mike Rogers, that Bob had him on the video. He's a commercial guy. He lives in around Asheville, so I know he's definitely been hit hard there. I've been watching the videos. I've been to Asheville. The place they talk about is the Biltmore.
Mhm.
What do you call that
The
area?
Biltmore Village.
The
Mhm.
Biltmore Village area. That's kind of sort of south of Asheville proper as far as the city part goes. Kind of a little lower lying area. And that is also right next door to Interstate 40.
Mhm.
And which when you go into that area there, you make a left-hand turn off the road, and that's how you get into the Biltmore Mansion. I think the Biltmore Mansion, when I was there, I would say it sits up on top of a sort of like a hill,
Mhm.
and it you can look out the back towards the valley, towards the mountains, and all that. So I don't think they probably have too much of a water issue there. Um, there's
Oh,
another.
wow.
What's that?
David. David said he missed the flooding by 2 hours in Asheville when he picked up a load. Wow.
Mm,
So I take it was probably raining hard when you were there. That's the whole problem. They had all
yeah.
the rain days before, and then when the storm hit and dumped more rain, there was no place for it to
Right.
go.
And then there's the town of Richland, which is the same road that you see where the Biltmore village is. If you go the opposite direction away from Asheville, that's south of Asheville, about, I don't know, 15, 20 miles. And it's just another area that's a 4-lane highway that goes into, and that has all been hit quite bad. Uh,
Yeah, I went with my college girlfriends 3 years ago. We went rafting on the French Broad River there, and it was the year we went. It was the lowest it had ever been, and now it's
mm.
just unbelievable what it
Now,
is.
Philip says, yeah, like I said about Nathan, he is wet. He's he's west of Nashville. His local bee club is the Columbia Bee Club in the Tennessee area, which is sort of south of Nashville. Cayman's east of Nashville. Like I say, we Becky and Bill's already talked to him. He was like the last town before the devastation, so he's fine. So that's pretty much the update. As far as Nathan, I don't know anything for certain. I know that Bill and Becky have actually had a phone call back from Bob Benny. He's fine. They just don't have any power at all. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing I can tell you on that.
I guess we have to think too about the hurricane hit Florida and all the beekeepers in Florida down there.
Yeah, I do know that JW, who was the folks down there next to the uh, Florida Georgia line? I think her name's Molly, is it? They were on another chat Saturday or Sunday night, and they are fine. They had a lot of trees down and stuff, but they did get their electricity back and all that. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
Maloney.
Melanie. Yeah, that's right, Philip. It's
Melanie.
Melanie Bees or something of that nature. They are fine. They just have a lot of tree damage and things like that.
Mhm.
Melanie and Dennis and all that.
Wow. Hmm. And it's just crazy times, and there's more coming out in the ocean. It looks like a couple more storms heading this way.
Yeah, it's kind of brewing one up in the tropics area there and all that. So that's the gist of what's happening as far as the beekeepers that we know from our chat. Like I say, I haven't heard it. I don't know anything about Greg Rogers. I don't know. I have not heard anything with Nathan from Duck River Honey. I'm sure Greg Rogers totally hit uh, as far as Nathan goes, Duck River, I'm sure that's probably a electric issues for him and all that. And then you also have the cell towers and stuff. Except that's one of the biggest things they were talking about cell things. They tried, I know I listened to one report. They tried to electrify the cell towers with generators, but they found out the network, I guess the part that where the cell towers communicate with and pass the signal along, that those are all down, the network itself. So
Mm.
apparently generators doesn't, in that newscast I learned, does not help any.
I saw where they were trying to do some Starlink setups, different places,
Yeah, I mean,
trying to set some sites like that up to help people.
yeah, there is one of the newscasts they were supposed to set up, like I'll say, a Starlink type of thing, a satellite type of thing, and that way you could be within, I'll say, so many feet of it, and it would work for you and your cell phone. So there we go. We have the wireless communication system that still breaks down just as bad as the wired communication system. So there's no, even though you have a cell phone, you're not going to get around severe storms.
No, you're not. It's just the way it is. Can't mess with Mother Nature, as we all know, as being beekeepers. Yep, definitely. Excuse me. So anyhow, so yeah, I hear it raining here now. It's pouring outside. We've gotten like 4 inches, but planted grass seed in the new yard. It's up, which is good. We got grass, so things have greened up, but we still need more. Bring that water table back
Yeah,
up.
I'm going to go ahead and drop the link again.
Okay, thank you.
See if it'll work for me.
Yeah. So is everybody winterize their bees or working on that? Like getting them all ready?
I've been feeding today.
Yeah.
Come on. It won't let me do anything for some
Yeah,
reason.
I wanted to feed today, but it was raining too much.
So did you get your beehives moved, Becky?
No, we have not done that. It's probably going to be November. So we got to get the new site ready. So we've been talking about designing it as we're getting older, to make things a little easier to maintain. Because I don't know, I hate running a weed eater. I hate it with a passion. So I have one of those walk behind stream trimmers, but we've got several acres we can use for our site, and we're trying to design it that the rows wide enough that the zero turn mower will fit down between them, so we can mow easily, and trying to reduce trimming as much as possible. So I'm one of those, I like space between my hives because I like to work my hives from the side. If anybody that hasn't met me, I'm only 5 feet tall. So I have to design sometimes things up on, yes, 2 cinder blocks, which is great until you get about 4 supers on there and I can't reach them anymore. So very well. So trying to design things a little user friendly. So my bees hate mine do too, but they're not too bad. I suit up whenever I go out, or jacket and gloves when I go out to weed eat. I made the mistake one time of weed and just putting garden gloves on because I was using the weed eater. Well, that was dumb because they came right to my hands and stung me all up. So I still wear my bee gloves when I weed eat. So
Right.
yeah. So yeah, we're working on designing it and getting it done, set among some gravel and those type of things. So this will be the last move for our apiary. So it'll be over here closer to where our house is. We can see our bees where they are now. They're on the other side of the farm. But my biggest concern is now they're in front of an old chicken house, as you can see there. I grew up, it's my family farm, and we had a poultry operation, and it's a wonderful windbreak. It's wonderful, and it's cinder block, and so the heat they face east, southeast, And so the sun hits them first thing in the morning. It warms up that block. It helps them stay warm during the day, and especially in the winter. And now we're not going to have that. They're going to be out in a pasture field. So I got to think about a little wind block, maybe some roll bales or something like that, just to help keep the wind off them a little bit. So I don't know what everybody else uses for wind blocks or.
Well, I either have a barn inside of a big barn, or I use carpet.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's pretty good, Todd.
So yeah, so that's our next big project is getting them all moved.
So are you out of the poultry business?
Yeah, my dad had a egg route. He was called a huckster. The egg route into Washington D.C. He delivered door to door, kind of like local foods is famous now. And this was way back, and it's how a lot of people supplement their farms. And so he went out when I was a senior in college. We finally got rid of the eggs, so it's gone. It's just a building now with the groundhogs like to live in now. They come out, and but it works great for a spot for the bees. It's out of the way from the rest of the farm. So, yeah.
Yeah, if I have you follow these homesteaders, and they're doing everything that you did or whatever years and years ago, and they think they're gonna. I don't know whether they're trying to sell or whether they're just trying to raise their own stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot. I work with some of them with my job, and I teach a lot of through my job home food preservation classes, canning classes. I teach a lot, and I get a few
Something
of
that
my
your
friends.
grandparents used to teach about nothing.
Yeah, so I teach that kind of stuff a lot. So I work with them a lot. But everybody says, you got a couple acres, you just get some chickens. And I said, hell no. I grew up on a poultry farm. We had 2,400 laying hens, and I have no desire to have chickens. I'm sorry. I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, anybody else want to come in? Todd, did you want to come in, or did you
Yeah.
see the actual link up there? I posted it. We can't seem to get it to.
I'm gonna try again, Charlie, and see if I can get it.
Go ahead and try. Now you keep posting. Did you go to invite
No, where's
in StreamYard?
No, he didn't do that.
I don't what
I
yep.
don't,
Go to invite in StreamYard. Click on that at the bottom of the screen in your StreamYard. Huh?
I'm afraid I'm gonna get clicked off if I click the wrong thing.
I
don't see it.
On the bottom where it says mute, stop, settings, present.
Oh, there's an invite. Yeah. So I hit that.
Click on that, and then it comes up and it'll say copy.
Yeah.
Then get out of that screen.
Okay.
Then you got to go over to YouTube and put it in the link over there.
That's what I got to do. Okay, let me try that. YouTube. Okay. And there's the link there. Let's see if this is it. Maybe. Nope. I don't see where I put it there.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, but I don't think I've got that going. It says I'm live in YouTube already.
I know you're live. But you clicked you copied the link and you pasted in the chat.
Yeah.
In YouTube.
Okay.
And then you post it.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Nope, that's scheduled post. Okay. I don't know. I'm sorry. Oh, maybe it's right there. Let me try the 3 little dots. Nope, that's not it either. Okay, I don't have a chat box. Somehow I don't see a chat box in YouTube.
Is it off to the side or off to the bottom?
If I make this bigger. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. There it is. I see it. Hold on. I posted it. Okay. I think I got it.
Did it pop in?
Yes.
I don't see it. So.
I hear Bill picking up in here. Can you guys, yeah. Is it echoing for you guys?
No, you're fine. I just don't see your post at all.
It's echoing for me, so I need to close down.
Close the sound is what you want to do, is close the sound. You turn the volume off on YouTube. You see where I put the post in or where it came up? Come on.
Mhm.
Or it is
Yeah.
bees all day. I see that.
Mhm.
Did you put that in your StreamYard or in the YouTube area?
Yeah, I'm trying to turn my noise down on my YouTube.
All right. At the end of where it says bees all day, StreamYard, highlight it and click on the three dots and see if you can pin it. And there you are. You pinned it. Finally. You got it.
Now, if I can just get noise, my volume to turn off on my YouTube.
On how to do it or what?
How to do it? Where is it?
You go over here to the left of YouTube and put your cursor on the screen, and there's a volume thing here, and just click on it where it strikes it across. See it?
Got it. Got it. Finally. Sorry. Like I said, I'm a Zoom person. I do Zoom.
Well, I don't think you have a big screen either, do you? Can you put two screens side by side?
Yeah, we have two screens, and we just hooked them up this weekend, and one was working. They were both working, and now the other one's not. So I'm afraid I'll kick myself off of this totally. So we're gonna go.
No, I'm still here.
You're still here.
All right, everybody sees it now. Todd sees it. Brian sees it out in Colorado.
Thank you. Sorry, guys. We're learning. We're gonna write this down every time. So anyhow.
The main thing is don't pin your StreamYard thing until you
Ready to go. Yeah, Bill was trying to help.
You don't do that until after you go live.
Got it. He was trying to help me out. So, and I'm a control freak someday, so we gotta make sure this works.
So anyway, yeah, as far as what I've been doing, like I say, this evening, I went out and I had about 20 some gallons of sugar water, and I topped everybody off that needed topping off. There was a lot of hives that were thirsty. I didn't go out yesterday. Actually, I guess it was 3 days since I fed them. I did find one hive that I had marked on the 3 days ago, and it still had about a half a tank of fluid in there. So I took the feeder off, poured the fluid into the one that was empty, and and all that. I don't know why it's popping that up. And so I took one of the feeders off one of the 10 framers and all that. No,
So what
so
about, yeah.
anyhow, I was reading that thing in the bottom there. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I went ahead while I was out there and I had 20 gallons of water. I started heating that up so I could make another batch of 40. I wasn't sure last week whether I was going to need it. So now I've got a batch of 40 gallons of 2-to-1 Haley and
Yeah.
and all that. So letting it cool down now. Try to get that in the tank tomorrow. But I'm looking at the hives and marking them as far as to see whether or not um, that hey Grant, hey Lisa, Randy, see whether or not we need any more sugar water because I think they're just about full. One hive that I did take the thing off, feeder off. I pulled a frame up out of the center. It had a big, deep frame of slab of brood and everything. So brood is doing quite well. It did have a frame off to one side that they hadn't done anything to it. It's just open comb. I was quite surprised to see that.
Yeah, I have a few that I put some supers on there in August because I was feeding them, and I thought, well, they need space, and now I'm going back. It's like, no, they haven't touched them, so it's time to pull those off. I did a little rearranging, pulling, some full of honey I moved down, down, and the ones that they're working on I moved up. So we'll see. But they felt, all the ones, they felt pretty heavy, so I felt good about that. So um, yeah.
Mm.
Longshoreman strike. Yeah, that's
No, I don't think so.
yeah.
Lee's more of a construction crane operator and all that.
That's
So,
we're trying to see if it's gonna affect us with our stuff we want to take to Nobby. So we're waiting to see how, if it's gonna be an issue for us, our product that we want to take to Nobby. So
oh, to take the knobby.
yeah, to
Okay.
take to Nobby, yeah, because we're starting to place orders, and yeah, so we'll see. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, Shane, I don't think you missed anybody. I did see that on the chat here that where it dropped the chat and then it reconnected and all
Yeah. Hmm.
and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
so anyway, but that's what's happening here. I'm trying to get, like I say, get fed up, then I'll be done. Hey Keith. And all that. So um mm,
Yeah. So I don't know. It's coming. It is winter's getting here quicker than I want it to, I think.
right.
So that time of year, although I kind of looking forward to a little bit of, break of not being in the house so much, but that goes by pretty quick. That's for sure. And getting my equipment all cleaned up. Seems about the time I get it all cleaned up, it's time to start again.
Well, what mite treatments have you done already? I know you did Apricot, right?
We did Avogard and I did Formic Pro this week. I did one strip, so we'll see how that goes. I drove. I can drive by our hives where they are, so I drove by them today. I knew they'd all be in. And I saw. I'm like, what's that on the landing board? It's that little white stuff. I'm like, it's the wax paper from the Formic Pro. They're starting to carry the little strips of it out.
How many days has it been on? And
It's Thursday is all I did, so it hadn't been that many days. So they're starting to take some of the wax paper that was with it out. So, but they all, they were all around. I didn't see anything being looking too crazy. We just saw a few bees out, but like I said, it was cold and rainy here today. So when I was over there, so.
No, I did formic starting Labor Day. Yeah,
Mhm.
the 2nd of September. I do a full dose of 2 pads,
Mhm.
good strong hives and stuff like that. And yeah, 14-day treatment, and I was done.
Mhm.
And I'm feeding now, and then I will probably start, yeah, like Roy's there, waiting to start OA and all that. So that's what I'll be doing here. Probably may it depends on how warm it is. Right now there's brood in the hives, multiple frames. I probably won't start OA until maybe the end of October, 1st of November. Make sure that there is the little to no brood. There was always going to be some,
Mhm.
but if you can get it down to where it's minimal, you'll have a higher theoretic mite count. Now, let's say a 98%, something like that. Then I'll do that through till about the end of February, and then I'll stop at March. Usually we're getting into highs by mid-March
Mhm.
and all that. So doing that kind of stuff. Um, like I say, I took that one top high feeder off of Warstadt and put it in the shed, let it dry. And then I sting the like button. Yep, do that first. And then I will right now I'm going to start watching highs. I've already put some sticky notes on them about how much they've been taken down as far as food. If I don't see them taken down, like if it's a man lake feeder holds about 2 gallon on one side, if it's been 3 or 4 days and they haven't taken anything or very little, that'll be a candidate of stop feeding.
Mhm.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll basically leapfrog the feeders and keep dumping them in the ones that keep sucking it down
Mhm.
and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I'm at with that. Had a few problems with the bees getting in and drowned in some of them were yellow jackets, which I really didn't care. And then some of them were some honeybees. So had a couple feeders there doing that. So I strapped them down tight with the
Mhm.
ratchet straps to kind of keep everybody out.
What
And
kind of feeders do you use, Charlie?
10 framers, I use the Man Lake. Um, I guess you might say they hold about 4 gallon, but I only
A
use,
top feeder?
huh?
A top feeder?
Yeah, top high feeders. I've
Mhm.
always did top high feeders. And so that's what I'm doing on that. And I have licensed top high feeders for my five frame nukes.
Mhm.
And they work well. Some of them, my telly lids are the sides are a little bit long. So I find it happens so that my inner covers for my nukes fit right around um, the top of the feeder. And then I put my lid up on top of that, and it keeps the bees out and raises the lid up high enough where they don't sit down on the sides of the feeder wings
Mhm.
that what they are designed for is for those insulated hives.
Right.
I didn't see Darren on here tonight, but um, we're going to Bill Hirschbeck. He's up in, I'm going to say New Hampshire. He talks about the condensing hive, which is basically a hive that um, top insulation, no top ventilation. Of course, he's up in really cold country. He has insulation around 3 sides of the hive, kind of like the hives that Bill sells, which are fully insulated.
Right.
And the whole theory behind that is to have basically a heat dome in the top of the hive. The moisture will not condense on the roof of the hive because it's insulated, but the side walls are not as insulated on the sides, which in turn the moisture will condense on the sides of the hives, which gives water for the bees to drink and to maybe thin the honey out so they can utilize by eating that, the honey.
Hmm. Interesting.
That's one. He's got some videos out. Actually, Greater Baltimore Beekeepers Facebook group, where we have scheduled him to do a Zoom meeting for us,
Hmm.
and I've I've met him on on a couple different occasions, and and then Darren was on here from the Pennsylvania Beekeeper. He had he took some quilt boxes and basically, I'm going to say 1.5 to 2 inch styrofoam insulation.
Mhm.
And then he took insulation foam with a spray can and made sure that he sealed all the cracks up with that. And then he turned it, basically it's a box upside down, a feeder shim upside down that um, you got a maybe about an inch and a half space gap between
Mhm.
that and bees inside the hive. And they will, from what Bill was saying, they will gather up into the dome of the hive where the heat is and stay there.
Mhm.
And they will use less food because they don't have to work so hard to keep the nest warm, not so much the hive, but the nest. And you won't have to feed your hives as much. And that's
Hmm.
the same thing with your, what is the,
They're
what's the
called a
brand?
now pot. A
Yeah,
now.
now, yeah,
N-E-L.
now same concept there with that hive. I mean, I also had one of I had a styrofoam insulated licensed 6 frame nuke,
Mhm.
and same principle, completely insulated. I You have the option to do upper ventilation. I plugged all that up with the plugs that they gave you. No top ventilation. The side walls were a little dampish. I could see some drip
Mhm.
water droplets on it. In the bottom, instead of having a screen bottom board, they had 3 round plugs in the bottom,
Mm.
but you
Okay.
could plug them. You could plug them up. They had like a screen, but you could plug them up with insulation. I had 3 out of the 4 plugged, and of course the third one, or the last plug, you could tell they had like drop. It was like it was propolis, but it was like frozen liquid where it tried
Oh,
to
really?
had to
Interesting.
it had to drip out,
Uh-huh.
and they were trying to close that hole up. So they like a completely encapsulated hive, as far as I can tell. And I think that they would have been fine with no ventilation on the bottom or and the top.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, ours with our now, because we run solid bottom boards on just about everything. And then for the winter, the lid has 4 vent holes in the lid and you can close them up or whatever. So in the wintertime, I usually, depends how cold it is, I usually leave 2 open across so they do catty cornered. And then if it got real cold this winter, I shut it down to 1. So, but they can't get up in the lid because we have the propolis trap that or kind of the inner cover that goes there, so they can't get up to the lid. So,
That's what the licensed hive had. It had a flexible
hmm
propolis strap, and then the lid, which was insulated, it was sort of like a dome. It was
hmm
about an inch and a half domed area.
hmm
And I know when I first got that hive, that one of the guys who had one, I'll say similar to it, I guess. Oh, I don't know what he was like. He took out the propolis strap. What good is that? And I'm like, well, they didn't give it to you for nothing.
hmm
And I used it, and they were complaining that they would put burr comb up into the lid. Well, if you put the propolis trap on, they will propolize that trap.
hmm
And they'll regulate their heat in that area there, and then that lid is completely open, and it's kept clean. And so, and that's of course how the feeder that I use on my normal 5 framers. That feeder fits on that hive, and then there's an outer flange that sticks out on both sides, which that's where that lid fits down on and
Mhm.
pushes it in between the side walls and keeps it from moving on you and stuff.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, we use I use in frame. I use frame feeders. I have the mother lode frame feeders, and so I finally got smart that because sometimes like I said, I work full time jobs, so I get in the bees when I can. And sometimes it's days I don't want to do it otherwise, but I got to do it, so I got to get it done. So I finally got smart. And the propolis traps we have with the Anels have a little tab that sticks out, little tabs that stick out past the lid. So I finally got smart and and put that on the side where the feeder is, so I know which side my feeders are on now, so I can feed a little faster. It sounds crazy, but saves me reaching over on, saves a few steps, as we all know. We want to make things kind of quick to get
Right.
in and out some days. So yeah.
Yeah, I with my feeders, I got a 40-gallon tank with a pump on it in the back of my pickup truck, and I just go along and pump it off and open the tops up. And that's why I kind of like the top high feeder. You don't have to deal with the bees most of the time unless they're in the feeder themselves. There was a couple of them out there where it was more or less yellow jackets that got in there. The feeder was empty and they're wanting to get out. And then I had one hive that it had some honeybees in there that were not dead or anything.
Yeah, DCBs, talking about bees, we have a problem. I know. I always tell people we're kind of crazy. We play with stinging insects,
Yeah, DC.
Yeah, we do
So,
that.
but anyway, um, that's like I say, that's the only problems I've had with top high feeders. I did have a top high feeder that had floats in it when I first started, and that talk
That
about
was,
talk about drowning bees. I had
yeah.
that, and I'm like, forget this.
We had one of those too. And man, yeah, never. We'll do that again. Learn that one.
Jack, Jeanette,
Yeah,
and good to see you.
yeah,
So
yeah,
anyway,
yeah. So everybody done harvesting honey? I think
I
we're
think
done. I got a
everybody.
bottle, but we harvested back in July. So.
Yeah, we did. I did somewhere's right around the 1st of July. Um, we have the lantern flies here coming in August. Um, I will have to say that the um, flow was later this year. Maybe I pulled the honey supers a little bit too early, a couple weeks early or something. But on the other hand, the hives, uh, I run 3 mediums like some of your hives, and I put the top third medium back on as a honey super, and they filled it within two. I went back 2 weeks later after that extreme heat we had, and the bees had plenty of food to get through till September and whatever.
Mhm.
And without me having to feed, I haven't had to feed the last 3 years because of lanternfly.
Yeah, that's what I hear. They're pretty bad here in our county. We've got them over here. I've seen them flying around, but because we're in the Shenandoah Valley, so we're in the valley part. So if you go over the mountain, there's another valley called Fort Valley, and I have several beekeepers over there in our club. And the one guy says his bees are just packing in the lanternfly stuff because there's so many of them over there. So it's kind of new to us here. That's one reason, like I said, we harvested
Two
before
years ago,
July
we
15th. Yeah.
2 years ago was when they first came and we were inundated. I mean, they were just thick everywhere you
Mhm.
went, seeing them.
Yeah.
But now they've pretty much kind of died out per se.
they've come down to see us. They've moved south. So in Virginia, I saw a map the other day where they're at, and they're straight down 81. You can see there's because of the trucks, being trucks and cars, because they like to hitch a ride. They're right down 81. So
Yeah.
Yep. Craziness. So yeah, that's our biggest thing going on is had a few people in the store still just finishing up harvesting honey. I've noticed that. Getting some equipment in jars and that kind of stuff. There's somebody's asking about Bob Benny. Yes, we did hear about Bob Benny. He's okay. So no power, but he's okay. Bill talked to him today. So.
Yeah, DC, Bob or Bill and Becky talked to Bob and himself. He's just out of electric. He's been out checking his bees and everything, as far as roads and stuff like that, the infrastructure other than electricity. See, from far as what we know, he's fine. Um,
Yeah.
and all that. Randy, Tar Heel, I'm not sure. Maybe it was Tar Heel on.
I don't know if he was or not. Wow.
No, I haven't heard whether or not Randy Klingon. I had heard something that Randy from he is north of Asheville area, not not affected as bad or so. Hey, Nancy, and all. So that's all I can tell you about that. I don't know anything about Nathan with Duck River Honey. Haven't heard anything about him. He's kind of, I would say, in the area that I won't say hit hard, but I'm sure he's probably has an electric problem.
Yeah, there's just so many, the power, especially down in that area. A lot of it's not underground. It's all still above ground and trees and beautiful areas, but it does have some problems sometimes.
All right, everybody, here we go. Tar Heel, he has no power, no internet, no water, but safe.
Okay.
That's from Lee down in Louisiana.
Okay.
And all that. So there we go. We know where Tar
Heel is. Yeah. Huh.
All right, Nancy, you're switching to the big screen.
Well,
hey, Barry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's good. The family is checking on everybody here.
That's what you got to do. You got to take care of each other. And the commercial guys, I feel for them, but then all the little people who's got a couple beehives in their backyards are probably not doing so good either. It's just kind of not a good situation.
Anyway, so you got to do. You got Formic on.
I have Formic on. Yeah, I'm going to do the 10 days, and then probably do another 10 days after that. So 1 sec. I'm heading out. I should have treated them earlier in September, but I was on a trip out in Tucson, and I didn't get them done before I went. And then I got back, and it started raining, and so just
was that part of your job out in Tucson?
It was. I went to a national conference, and I actually went to a place in Tombstone, Arizona. This honey store. Okay, so I always have to check out honey stores, and it was called Killer Bees, and he had a lot of like infused honeys, all kinds of flavors, but then he had just real honey. So it said, and I tasted it. It tasted like honey, and a little 4-ounce jar he was selling for like $14.50 a 4-ounce jar. And he's like, if you buy the bigger one, it's more economical. I was like, I'm traveling. This is all I want. It's just a little bit. But he said it was killer bee honey we talked a little bit about the Africanized bees out there a little bit. He said they're, pretty bad. So.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, I know Nancy would know the guy. There's a guy that comes on another chat that me and Nancy are on Saturday or Friday evenings before mine. He's out in Oklahoma or Arizona or one of them places out there, and all seems that the his weather is close to ours.
Mm-hmm. They don't keep bees. Yeah. I don't think he kept bees either, because I said something about, my bees are a little cranky, the queen's genetics, and you can change queens. He's like, you do know something about bees. I'm like, no kidding.
Oh yeah.
I have 23 hives sitting back home. He's like, oh, okay. So.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike. His name is Mike. He's out in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They have a bee club out there. He used to send bees out to California for the pollination.
Oh, okay.
And stuff. He's got about 150 hives or something like that.
Okay. I never did know this killer bee guy had a channel or not. So, it was
not that I know.
Tombstone. It was in this little store was in Tombstone, which is a tourist trap. I figured out, but it was different. It's different out there. It's pretty, but I don't think I want to live there. And guess who's coming? Here comes Bill.
Yeah, we've been hearing about it. Yeah.
You back? You here?
Yep.
I'll give up my phone to Bill here. You guys. Thanks, Charlie, for all your help.
All right, Becky. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Sorry I'm late, fellas. Oh, where's the camera?
It's right there.
It's right here now.
Yeah, as far as a hive out in California for pollination, they have to be graded. I do know that. You have to have X amount of bees in that hive, so many frames of bees. At least, let's say 6 to 10 frames. And I'm going to say somewhere around $200 a hive, something like that. Don't take me on my word on that because I really don't know. Somewhere's in that neighborhood, but I think the price is coming down. The price of almonds is coming down, and all kinds of different things like that. I'm not sure.
I know the pollinators aren't getting what they used to get out there, unless somebody knows different. From everything through the grapevine, they're not getting what they used to get.
Yeah, I don't know that the price what they get per year kind of fluctuates with the market of the crop of nuts and stuff like that. I would say the only person on here tonight we really know would be Todd. He lives in that area there. He probably has more firsthand knowledge with local pollinator beekeepers. He actually did some of that, I think, or was trying to.
Hi, Nancy. Thanks for texting me earlier today. Roy, how you doing? JT, Kathy, how are y'all this evening? Sorry I'm late, but I had VSBA business to take care of.
So what's the decision?
We are going to postpone the conference until February. And we're going to contact the venue to see what dates they have open in February. And all that's going to be re-announced through Bee Culture, ABJ, and website, Facebook, and our normal advertising. So it was a hard decision to make, but we had no choice.
Yeah, due to the fact of the storm area in that area. Wonder what kind of weather is down in that area there at that time.
Cold. Bring the woolies.
What about snow?
It's hit or miss down there.
Right.
But see, now there's another storm in the Gulf that's coming up, either close to or almost the same path that Helena took. So I feel for those people down there. I really do. I talked to Bob Benny today, and he just got cell service back today. He still didn't have any power, and he had crews out checking his bees today, and he doesn't even, he didn't know at the time anything about his bees yet. So
All right, so he does have cell back, but no power as far as in the
Right.
air.
yeah. So I mean, Asheville, North Carolina is gone. Several other small towns down there, Chimney Rock, it's gone. I mean, Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee is, just about as bad. I-40 in North Carolina is gone. So
Yep, I've seen all that on the. We were talking about that earlier, and Becky was talking that we did find out that Bob Benny is okay, and Lee has told everybody that shoot, Tar Heel is fine. I think he lives north of Asheville and all that. So he's in good shape.
yeah, the last thing I saw today about North Carolina is basically all the roads in Western North Carolina are closed. They don't want anybody traveling at all. So Sevierville got hit pretty hard. So, they were showing pictures of Dollywood, that the river that runs down through Dollywood was up right to the top of the bank.
Isn't that the Pigeon River?
Pigeon Forge, I think it is the Pigeon River. And the year I went down there for Hive Life, the hotel that we stayed in had a river right behind it, and that was up, getting ready to come out of its banks.
So they
all got hit pretty hard down there.
Right. And I think Knoxville, even of course Knoxville's right in the same area.
Yep.
All right. Well, we got some updates there, guys. That's good.
Hey, Jack and Nanette, I didn't see you on earlier, but how are y'all this evening?
I'll be back here in a minute.
So what were we talking about, Charlie?
Oh, just everything and anything we were doing, talking about some mite treatments, what you guys were doing, and top high feeders, and what I did, and what you got. You guys are using what in frame feeders?
Yeah, we use
level feeders. And then you were saying about maybe, what about your Anel highs? Are they, are the darn longshoremen going to screw you up there too?
Say what?
The longshoremen going to mess you up on getting your Anel highs?
They're working on it. They are working on it.
I'll be back in a minute.
Come on in here, Nancy. Don't be bashful. Roy, did you get the email I sent you earlier today? "28 degrees tonight. I hope your bees are put to bed." Yeah, Philip, I think that same thing. It's the major devastation was the dams that broke down there, or the dams that they opened up to allow the pressure to relieve the pressure. Tiny Creek, yes, I am. Everything I sell is assembled except for unassembled frames. I sell those as well. All my boxes are put together, and the manufacturer where I get them in Pennsylvania is going to be painting boxes this year. So I'll be selling painted boxes and probably putting frames in them as well for everybody. Well, that's good to hear, Jack. That they're put away to bed. I don't know if everybody saw my Facebook post the other day, but I finally moved the sign for my store and got it put on the building thanks to JT and the gentleman from Elkton that helped him. So, and it's up. The edges of the sign are painted, so it looks pretty good. Pictures are on my Facebook page about it. Hadn't been for JT, it probably wouldn't have gotten done that quick. How far is your out yard away from you, Jack? Nancy, it's going to be the Virginia State Beekeepers Conference that we're moving to February. It was supposed to be the end of October. We haven't set a date in February yet. We've got to talk to the venue about that first. Yeah, those mother load feeders that we use, those are pretty good. About 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons each.
So,
They're easy to fill. You know, the bees don't build any comb in them. Yes, you lose a few bees here and there, but there's more bees that are eating than you're losing. So,
as far as the conference, you had, what was it? You had Cayman and
Michael Bush and Phoebe Snyder.
I have to see whether or not they can rearrange their schedule or whatever.
Yep, that's it. There's a lot of logistics with postponing this thing, and it's all starting tomorrow.
Starting all over again.
Basically, yeah, we're starting all over again. So, you know, it's a lot of stress with it too.
Yeah. Hopefully by that time, some of the road and infrastructure will get back in place.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do or how fast they can, like I-40 down there. I've seen the pictures on the internet, and that's some pretty serious, in order to build that bank back up, in order to support the weight that's got to support and
Yep.
all that.
Do you have your
So
buckets in the hive, or are they outside the hive?
he was saying more holes. So do you have screens? Yeah, maybe they can get a lot done fast, DC. Depends on how much politics is in place.
on top of the hive, and it has tent plugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roy, you can put the green brood frames are all for drone brood. That's specifically what they lay in them. And if you don't stay on top of it, you're going to have a mite explosion in the hive because they're used for mite control. And if you put them in, you got to keep your eye on them. As soon as the brood is capped or close to being capped, you got to pull them and scrape them off or bang them out. If you got chickens, it's great chicken food.
Yeah, DC, the Brad story frames where you can cut them out. You can just cut that whole section of drone brood right out of there and throw it out on the ground.
Yep.
I don't know if you know about that, Bill. It's a regular frame. You've got, I'll say, foundation in the middle and brood on or open area where they can draw their own wax down and make drone brood.
Yeah. I've heard of them.
And it helps with not having drone brood up on top of the frames.
It does.
Keeps the hive cleaner.
Yep.
Yeah, I put some drone brood or drone frames in my hives this year. I've left them in. A lot of them I found that if they didn't have drone in them, they were filling them up with honey or sugar water honey for the winter. Roy, that's what Brad calls them. I'm not sure why he called them a story frame.
There's all kinds of names for them.
It kind of just, you can cut the stuff out and cut the drone fruit out of them if you want to, or you can take your scratcher and scratch it and check your. It is an easy way of pulling your brood out and check and see how many mites are in there. Kind of
Yeah.
give you an idea how well you're treating your hives on top of that. Yeah, but I'm not sure how to read the story, Nancy.
Nancy, I don't know whether I agree with that statement or not.
What's that? Lots of drones is a healthy
It's a
hive.
healthy hive.
Well, it's like 3 little mites went to market, right?
Yeah, right.
Mm.
There's your answer to the pollination question.
Yeah, there you go, DC. I said around $200 a hive, but like I say, if there was a high amount of almonds, it drops the price down. That depends on whether state of California turns the water off again. Lets all
Yeah,
the trees
really.
lets all the trees die.
Yep.
All that stuff. So
If I could sell mites, I'd be a wealthy man. I think we'd all be wealthy, Roy.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I sold, I think, 15 pounds of honey today. Unusual. Last Monday was a high demand for honey, and this Monday was a high demand for honey.
Hey,
One guy bought 10 pounds.
at least they're buying it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're already bug farmers, DC.
So, anyway, so what did you have, a Zoom meeting today with the rest of the folks in your association?
I had an executive committee meeting tonight. It started at the same time.
Yeah, but it's
Live
through
started.
Zoom. Is it through Zoom?
Yep.
Didn't know
Yep.
whether you guys actually had to meet or not.
Well, they let us meet through Zoom, but if we have to do a vote or anything like that, it's got to be in person.
I hope you guys live close together.
No, not really. We're scattered throughout the state of Virginia. So,
I would say a show of hands would be easy enough
yep.
through Zoom. They got to get up with the times. That's
Yeah, it's Robert's Rules of Orders has changed a lot for meetings, and anything that's not covered in our Constitution and bylaws, they say is covered by Robert's Rules of Order. So,
well, I mean, in my club, local county club meeting, we would have elections and you had COVID. Well, there's only one way of doing it.
yep,
That was through Zoom.
that's right.
And we went out and put out a what do you call that thing? It's like if you want a questionnaire type of thing.
Yeah, poll.
Yeah, and do it through that. And then whoever each person got, I guess you might say, the email with their name on it, so you knew where it come from.
Yeah.
I don't know, Matt, whether 100 mites per day is a normal or not.
Have you done any treatments?
I know he did April bar, I think, and maybe
Yes,
some
he's an apivar. That's unusual for apivar. I'll say that. I'm not going to kick that can of worms over.
Yeah. I don't know. Wait till you get that treatment overdone, Matt, and then hit him with something else, maybe formic.
Yeah. Or OA.
Hey,
Hey,
Kim.
Kimberly.
Hey, Doug.
Becky's not here now. I have relieved her from her position in the live. She had other stuff to do. Yeah, you're right about that. Twice as many votes as voters. Yeah, you're right.
Hey, Todd, did you see what Doug wanted you? I think he wants you to post for your internet or new website. So anyway, it's rained here. It wasn't really raining here too much until later this evening.
We've been averaging about 3 inches of rain a day.
Well, here it kind of rained a little bit this evening. I was making some sugar and more of a mist, kind of a damp, cold mist.
Yeah, it's been
That was about
raining
it.
here for over 24 hours. It started Saturday night. It rained all day Sunday, and it's rained all day today. So
All right.
I didn't
So-
realize what time it was till I came in here and sat down. So who all have we had in the studio tonight, Charlie?
What, as far as here with us?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Really?
No. Todd was supposed to come in, but he was coming home from work when said he was, or was going to do it.
Ah,
And all that.
stop bragging about what? The rain?
Yeah, he's out there in Texas.
Oh. I can bottle some and ship it to you.
Yeah, Denver. He's out there in Denver. He was telling me they just passed a rule that they were allowed to take a 55-gallon drum of water off their roof, rainwater off from their roof, and allowed to keep it.
Say what?
It was illegal to put a rain barrel in.
Come on now. Really?
Mm-hmm. They just passed a law they can do. They can get one barrel now. But out there, water rights is the big deal.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Mineral rights are everything.
So Nancy, you're saying if you got slow release OA pads on there, you're wondering whether you can still hit them with OA vapor at the same time. I don't see where there's any problem with it.
I don't know. You might overdose them. That's a
Mhm.
possibility. Depends on how long they've been on there. It's fine. I do it all the time.
DC says that he does it all the time, Nancy.
Yeah.
I'm sure DC is homemade.
I'm sure it is too.
Well, I guess there's not much to do on the farm. All the
No,
rain.
not while it's raining like this.
I know that my son sprayed We had some volunteer wheat coming up after the harvest, and he rounded up everything, and now it's finally turned brown. Oh, I don't know, Lee. I'm just eating some popcorn. You know, I got to keep up my Charlie
You got
Pop.
to keep that girlish figure going, right?
I got to get the popcorn status up. You know.
Yeah. Which way you going with your IPM strategy, Roy?
Yeah. What do you explain that, Roy? Why don't you come on, Roy?
Yeah.
As long as you got a camera or whatever. And we're always up there in Michigan.
Yep. Salt and butter life. I tried to get Nancy to come on a while ago and she wouldn't do it.
I don't think she has a key. I'm not sure. It's getting. Yes, we were chatting all day today, back and forth texting.
I was texting with her today too.
Yeah, somebody
But she thought I was somebody else.
thought you were Darren.
Yep.
I helped her out.
If Cracker Barrel served popcorn, Charlie would never leave.
Yeah, everybody thinks I'm a big fan of Cracker Barrel. I just ate there because it was next door to the hotel.
Yeah. All right, so here's Roy's answer. A brood break in the spring, formic in June if needed, apigard, then formic. I'd like to join, but the front porch, but on the front porch and dark. Maybe next week. But that would be great, Roy.
Well, now brood
So
breaking.
how are you going to get a brood break in the spring? If you're going to take the queen out in the spring?
And then formic in June. Formic in June is awfully hot.
I don't know. Maybe not in Michigan.
But I would think in Michigan you would have a problem with the seasons as far as cold weather coming or cold weather not getting or warm weather not getting early spring and cold weather coming in earlier.
Yeah.
Your season would be awfully short.
Roy, that's our rotation almost to the T, except for the brood break.
He's going on the spot. Are you OTS on the spot queen ring? I'm going to go ahead and start grafting come next spring. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, we're waiting on 2 new breeders to come in. next
Mhm.
spring. We ordered them this year, couldn't get them, so we got to wait till next spring to get them.
Well, DC, you're out there in, I think, what, Washington State?
Yep.
You're out there in that wet, damp country.
Yeah.
Um,
Tiny Creek, we use formic in the spring, end of March, first part of April every year.
did you order queens from Shabu?
No, we don't order from them. These are coming out of Ohio from Latshaw. When was the last time you treated Grammy?
Yeah, Lisa's down there, Alabama, I believe.
Yeah. I had a couple come through the store the other day from Alabama. They were traveling through.
Yeah, she's in Alabama.
What did you treat with, Lisa? I'm going to make an assumption it was Apagard. Apavar. Okay.
Well, in July, if she's in Alabama, she's down there next to where Bruce is. Bruce
Yeah,
is big.
it's too hot for Apagard.
It's too hot down there. And Grammy, what's it, Lisa? What's it now? About 80 some degrees, maybe down there, something like that. Maybe even now. I know it's in 80s where Lee lives.
Have you ever tried OA in July?
Would that really do anything?
Yeah, because you're starting into a natural brood break. You should be.
She's saying it's the high 80s right now. So Formic's kind of out.
Formic's out. Apagard, you could use Apagard, or you
Yeah,
can do OA.
yeah, I would do a half dose of Apagard, 25
Yep.
grams. I would try it on some of my highs if you never used it.
Yeah. It's kind of Apagard is funny. If you don't
Nightly.
get it right, yeah, you're going to do some damage. So if you're above 77, you cut that package in half. You got to make sure you've got the right dose. Yeah, Apagard will give you good results. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, talking with you, Bill. I mean, I feel more confident to try Apagard
Yeah.
when it's 85.
Now, I kind of switched it up this year. I didn't use the tins. I went ahead and pulled a tub and used the tub instead
That's what
because
I got.
it's easier to control that dose with that syringe. So Lisa, do you have a natural brood break down there at all? It gives her a brood break.
She wants to know, well, give her a brood break at half dose. I would think so.
I mean, it might be beneficial to do it, to use the half dose.
She gets a brood break in November, maybe.
I would do the half dose of Apiguard when it's a little cooler than your summer months, and then in November hit them with OA, because if you're in a brood break, that OA is more effective with a brood break than it is when your queen's laying. Because all your cells, most of your cells are open at that point during a brood break. You know, we get a brood break here from about the middle of July through the end of August, and it's a natural brood break. We don't have to do any treatment at all to get that brood break. It just happens.
Is that
So-
because no feed coming in, Bill?
It's the nectar is slim to none. There's still pollen coming in, but we get that brood break around here because there's, like you said, Charlie, there's no nectar coming in, and that's what they're looking for. And the queen just either she slows way down, and of course we all know bees are cannibalistic, or the bees are eating the fresh eggs and the new larvae for the protein, because they don't want to hit their stores yet.
So, Grammy, you got a new hive location. Is that where you don't have the suffering hive beetles? But you're putting down that,
Triazicide,
what is that, Grub-X?
something like Grub-X, yeah. Hey Lisa, have you ever tried diatomaceous earth?
How about that? Doug's up in Canada, Saskatchewan. Apivar on for 6 weeks. The first hive had 32 mites. The second had 25. Next yard was 8 and 5. Did not test anymore. Went straight to OA vapor. Well, that pretty much tells you what Apivar does for you.
Yeah.
And I have to say, along with that, that's where I backed my Apivar up that I did this year with Formic Pro, and some of the hives had a lot of mite drops on the IPM boards.
Yeah, I don't use Apivar anymore. I sell it because it's a choice that everybody makes. But they stated a long time ago that Apivar wasn't effective given in the correct dose. So, Grant, Lisa, you don't put it in the DE in the bees. You put it around the hive and under the hive, because it is an insecticide, just like triazicide is.
What is DE?
Diatomaceous earth. Same thing you put in a pool filter.
The only problem with the diatomaceous earth is it's fine until it rains.
Yeah, just like triazicide is fine until it rains.
What about Grub-X? I think you can put that and just leave it there.
Yeah, you can put that down and leave it.
Hey, Lisa, take and talk to Lee on that. Lee had an area down there where he had the hives in a woods, and I'll say, doubled the amount of grub X on the ground, and no hive beetle problems.
Yeah.
So
Get it
all
just
that.
before a good rain.
Mm.
So, Lisa, you say that the hive beetles are way down, or what's your count that you're seeing? Are they down to 1 or 2 or 5, 10?
Probably from 500 to 1,000 down to 200. They have beetles down there, something like crazy.
Oh yeah. Four to 10 beetles. That's pretty good.
Especially
That's
where
not,
you're at.
that's not a lot, especially where you're at down there. We run the Swiffer sheets here, and we might see 5 or 6 in the sheet, but maybe 1 or 2 run around the hive, and that's it. But everything of mine's in full sun.
Yeah, that. And I also have coverings on the ground.
Yep.
And a friend of mine, Dinah, who comes on occasionally, she has hives. She had I think it's on her sister's farm where they had like an old hog lot, where it's all cement.
Yep.
Doesn't have a roof or nothing to it. And she's got all her hives on that cement floor, and no hive beetles whatsoever.
Well,
And
that's
they talk
great.
about the hive beetles flying and everything. I still say you got to break the life cycle by, getting so they can't bore down into the ground.
Yeah, I built a box and put it on the ground with ground cloth underneath of it and fill it with stone. And then we put the diatomaceous earth in the stone. So anything that comes out of the box is falling in that gravel and it can't get through that ground cloth.
Yep. But
And that's cut way down on them too.
yeah, if you have just bare ground, you can put some kind of ground covering down. It works. It helps, just like the diet or the grubbacks and stuff like that.
Yep.
And as far as them flying in and out, I mean, I'm sure they do, but I've had some people argue with me about the ground cover. But I said, ground cover, 100% sunlight works quite well.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I was that triazolide. Is that a grub X or something else?
I think it's one of the chemicals in Grovex. Let me look it up.
Yeah, DC. It kills larvae. It hits the superheated. They dry out before they ever get to the ground. It's similar to Grubax, is what Lisa says.
Yeah, it's an insect lawn. You can either get it in granules or liquid. It's made by Spectracide, and it's available at Walmart, Lowe's, and through Zorro as well, and Amazon.
I know part of my nukes are on blacktop and my tent framers now. And like I say, don't seem to have the problem. So, yeah, I did. It's cheaper than Grubex. That's cool.
Cheaper than Grovex. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, but like I was saying, Bill, we were talking earlier. I had one top pine feeder that they hadn't taken any fluid for 3 days. So I
Oh, really?
pulled that feeder off tonight, and dumped it into the next hive that needed something. And I pulled up the middle frame. It was a deep, double deep. And here's, whole frame full of brood, capped, and all that. So plenty of
Well,
brood
they're
in the
doing
hive
something.
still.
They're doing something. They're not being stagnant about anything.
Mm-mm. They weren't. And I had one frame on the wall, drawn wax, but nothing in it at all. And they hadn't drank any fluid for 4 or 5 days. I said, well, they must be full.
Yeah, or they forgot about that frame, one of the two.
Mm. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on. Maybe they filled up the bottom. Who knows? So, well, Bill, it's about 10.
Yep, it is. It's been a very long day.
10 o'clock is a long day for me, and I've been mixing sugar water, and I think I must have bottled, I don't know, 30 pounds of honey here this evening.
Well, that's not bad.
No, I sold 15 pounds right out the gate just today, which
Well,
is pretty good for a Monday.
yeah, you put 15 back plus 15 for next Monday.
Last Monday, I think, was the same kind of situation too. Well, guys, it's a work night, so
Yep. Not
Bill,
going to keep y'all on here late. I know it's tomorrow's a school day, so y'all have fun at work, and keep the beekeepers in Western North Carolina, Southwest Virginia, Eastern Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, and Southeast West Virginia in your thoughts and prayers, and hope that everybody down there recovers well and comes out of this on the other end in better shape.
yeah, I mean, the death toll's up about 90 right now.
It is. I'm hoping and praying that's as high as it goes, but there's still over 1,000 people missing in North Carolina. So you guys have a good evening, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
Good night, everyone.